Mike 7 here, and I'm back with another video. And today we're going to be reviewing the entire season 3 of The Mandalorian. Now, this is being the third season of a very, very popular show. I gotta say, for someone who's a Star Wars fan, this season was okay. Wasn't the worst, wasn't the best either. I just say this season really was 50-50 in my personal opinion. Because in the beginning half of the season, we pick off at the end of season 2 where Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, basically has the dark saber, but he still has to reclaim standing as a Mandalorian because he removed his helmet. We also have Bo-Katan, who is, a royalty of the Mandalorian base and everything, but yet she has no sense of authority, right? Because she doesn't have the dark saber. So you see a lot of these characters kind of lost or in their own lane in the beginning of the season until we actually get to the reforging of the Mandalorian. We see the zealots of the Children of the Watch and everything. People who have kept their helmets and everything. We also see how some people can get initiated into the Mandalorian tribe and everything. But then we also see these factions of Mandalorians actually come together, and I actually really enjoyed that. Actually my biggest things in the previous two seasons, as much we relied on a lot of Easter eggs and fan service and everything like that. I wanted to actually them to get into more of the lore of Mandalore and actually get into more of the religion. What is their things that they follow. Get into the armor and like how she conducts things and everything. Bo-Katan, every time we've seen her since the Clone Wars, right? And now look how she is today. And seeing that journey that she's gone as a character and where she is now. Now, as a finale, I thought a lot of things felt, really rushed and kind of pacing with things. We do see some seeds that were planted in terms of, Moff Gideon finding out that the clones that he was making was not for the Emperor or for Snoke, was actually for himself, which comes to the theory whether he actually died at the end of this episode, but and that's no hero there. He might come back, whatever. Giancarlo Esposito is a fantastic actor, so anytime I see him, the more the merrier, right? But we do actually see at the end of this season that, now, Din Djarin has come to this place where he wants to, now adopt Grogu. And now Grogu has got a new name, Din Grogu, right? Just as, the Mandalorian name is Din Djarin, right? And what we see, the question it poses that what is the future for this? Is there gonna? I know we know there's gonna be another season for the show. We do know there's gonna be a culmination film of all the Disney Plus shows within Star Wars coming to like a cinematic event with the film, right? We got the Ahsoka series, we got the Skeleton Crew, and everything like that. But the question proposes, what is the future of the story of the Mandalorian? Where do we go from here, right? We do see all of them collectively joined together at the end, just like old Clone Wars fashion. But I really, wanted to see more of like what's gonna be the future story just for Din Djarin as a character. Again, I just from the first beginning half of the season, I just felt really, not saying consistent of just following episode by episode until we got picked up around episode 5 and beyond the rest of the season. But other than that, I do will say I'll pass the mic over to my co-host Jay King. Jay King, I pass the mic to you.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
What's going on, guys? Jay King here. I just want to give my quick thoughts on the whole finale, what I thought about it, did I think it was great? Short answer, yeah, I thought it was really great. I thought that this was a really solid finale. Now, I understand that when it comes to season 3 as a whole, a lot of people had mixed feelings about this more than any season past with The Mandalorian. I say not as much mixed feelings as, say, Book of Boba Fett, but definitely not as high of like good things to say as the past two seasons. And I can understand why, because this season felt a little directionless, especially around the beginning. It wasn't until with the episode where we got the Mandalorians versus the pirates and a little stuff before then that we started to see what was going on. We had seed plants of what was going on, like the return of Moff Gideon, the structuring of the First Order, and lead-ins to Thrawn that we'll see in Ahsoka. But we didn't really get, otherwise we didn't really get like too much like going on throughout the season until like its middle half and then mainly the end portion. But in all honesty, I still enjoyed the ride with this season, and the season finale was a really good one. I really liked. Pretty much this was just filled with action, and it had some really great action. The hallway fight, or I guess like boundary fight, almost like a video game between Din Djarin and the Beskar stormtroopers, was freaking insane. Din, Grogu, and Bo-Katan versus Moff Gideon. That was a really, really good fight scene, and I really love how it ended. Axe Wolves and the armor and the rest of the Mandalorians coming in to destroy the Empire's base on Mandalore was incredible. I love the scenery. I love the scenes of them all flying in like a whole battalion of basically an army just coming in to eviscerate the Empire for as much as they could, like, halt the beginnings of the First Order as best as they could, even though, of course, we know that's not gonna last forever. But hey, at least they kept them from having some of the precious metal, in the entire galaxy. But all of that was just shot very well. There wasn't anything that you saw that really was like, can I believe that? Like, no, it all really looked good, and it came with the combination of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's expertise when it comes to the Star Wars, universe on Disney Plus. And again, the way Gideon went out, I think it was pretty good because, again, as he said, we need to get rid of this guy. We can't let this guy continue on or he's going to keep coming after us. And I think that with this, yeah, they did a good job of taking him down. Was it an honorable death, like, say, take him down by the Darksaber? No, but I think getting blown up is very cathartic for the guy who got blown up the same way in Breaking Bad, so... Though there is some theories out there that, given the fact that we know that there are Moff Gideon clones, that maybe that was actually a Moff Gideon clone and not the real guy. I guess we'll see in like either season 4 or the Mandoverse film if Moff Gideon makes one more, appearance. I mean, hey, if you're gonna have, good old John Esposito, add the man there. He is a gem when it comes to this whole series. But again, the way that they ended everything with them basically finally getting Mandalore back, starting to reconstruct the Mandalorian, crew empire and all that, and then Din and Grogu getting to go live their lives as, a true Mandalorian and his apprentice, but going back to basically what it was in the beginning of the show, a merc for hire, but selective with his jobs and with a Padawan or apprentice of his own by his side. That again leaves the door open. Like if this were the true conclusion of the Mandalorian, I feel fine with leaving Din and Grogu here for the foreseeable future.
Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share, and stay tuned for our next reviews coming up very, very soon. Until next time, this is Jay King, and this is Jedi Mike 7. Peace. We are out.